And practice is over. Time to go into heat number 1. All right, looks like our lineup will be Skylar Massey, Chris Hyatt, Lance Sponberg, Andrew Thornton, and Brian Mansfield for heat number 1. Looks like they are all lined up. Looks like we're going to have about 3 heats here tonight. Pace car leading them around for the first of their 2 pace laps. Of course, this track being just a hair over a quarter mile long, these pace laps do not take long. This track is banked at 10 degrees in the corners, 4 degrees in the straightaways. It feels like there's no banking at all once it slicks off, and it is going to be a handful, especially once they get all 14 drivers on track together. Right now, here we go. Skylar Massey will lead them down into turn number 1 with Chris Hyatt to his outside. Green flag is in the air. Chris Hyatt gets a good jump off into turn number 1. Here comes Skylar Massey trying to cross back over. Can't quite get there yet. Chris Hyatt has the lead. Andrew Thornton now back in third. 4th place is Brian Mansfield. Brian rubbing the wall just a little bit coming through turns 1 and 2. Lance Sponberg looked like he is struggling coming back here. Kind of a surprise to see Lance struggling, especially in these 305s anywhere on dirt. Lance is usually quite good, but that has been the nature of this beast tonight as we see Skylar Massey get into the wall back there. We've seen several guys that are usually quite good at dirt. As Skylar Massey and Chris Hyatt get together, Skylar drops down low. Brian Mansfield slips back by. Brian Mansfield tries to make the pass on the leader. Can't quite get there. Skylar Massey takes the lead. Holy cow. Chris Hyatt reclaims 2nd place. Mansfield back to 3rd right at the moment. He's got Andrew Thornton right there, though. That was a lot of beating and banging for 305s. Skylar Massey through all of that. He had been going backwards, but when Chris Hyatt and Brian Mansfield got together, he took the opportunity, shot to the inside. He's opened up a bit of a lead. And he's going to come down and take the white flag here. There is the white flag. Skylar Massey got just 1 more lap to go. Brian Mansfield currently now up to 2nd place. Chris Hyatt now up to 2nd. Brian hits the wall hard. Then Andrew Thornton hits the wall hard. What a series of events as Skylar Massey takes the win. Chris Hyatt comes home 2nd. Andrew Thornton, Brian Mansfield, and Lance Sponberg round out the top, or the heat number 1. What an interesting race, to say the least. All right, lining up for heat number 2, Michael Whiting and Jared Heasley on the front row, Patrick Coluccio and James Johnson on the 2nd row, and David Tormasci is in the 3rd row. Off on their formation lap here. Pace car will duck off as they come down the back straightaway this time by. Michael Whiting will lead them down as they come out of turn 4. Green flag waves. Jared Heasley gets one heck of a jump. He's going to bring, I believe that is Jim Johnson back there. He's going to bring him. No, he can't yet. Michael Whiting fights back to the inside. Michael Whiting back to the lead. Jim Johnson now to the inside. He is going for 3rd. Jim Johnson briefly in the lead. He is finding a way to hook that thing up on the low side. Not carrying enough momentum off the turn. He decides to move back up for 1 and 2. Still back in third. Heasley is second. First place is still Michael Whiting. Patrick Coluccio is back to fourth now. David Tormasci is currently fifth. There is David. Jim Johnson, he started in fourth. He is currently up to third, and he has got quite a handful with Coluccio right behind him. And he's in the wall here, coming out of turn 2. It looks like Coluccio is going to take advantage. Coluccio to third. Michael Whiting continues to open up a bit of a lead over Jared Heasley here. Two laps to go. Michael Whiting has a decent lead over second place Jared Heasley. Patrick Coluccio in third is trying to regain some ground. Jim Johnson back in fourth, trying to catch back up to Coluccio after a crazy battle back there. David Tormasci still out on track, trying to get some extra laps in as Michael Whiting is right up by the wall, as is Heasley. But at the checker flag, it is Michael Whiting, Jared Heasley, Patrick Coluccio comes home third, Jim Johnson is fourth, and David Tormasci is fifth. Now remember, folks, these Outlaw guys, they do reset the track state at the start of every session. Does make it easier on some of these guys, harder on others. For heat number 3, we got Chris Standridge up front, Wayne Bridges second, Justin Glover third, and Ryan Nesbitt fourth. Justin Glover, one of the newer members of the series. And it looks like the pace car is out. I don't believe Glover took the track yet. Not sure what's going on there. We've only got 3 cars on track though. Chris Standridge there to the inside. Wayne Bridges to the outside in the 92. Pace truck will duck off this time by Ryan Nesbitt right back there as well. And we saw Ryan struggling a bit in the first race. We'll see if he can reclaim the top spot here. Green flag in the air. And Wayne Bridges, that outside line just goes so much faster. Wayne Bridges has a run coming off turn 2, down into turn 3. He's still way up there by the wall. Ryan Nesbitt right there beside him. They're still side by side all the way around the track. Chris Standridge trying not to slide up in front of Nesbitt. He ends up losing first, and he might lose second here. He does lose second. Nesbitt gets a heck of a run off of turn number 4. Manages to clear Chris, but Chris wiggling a little bit there off of turn 2. Ryan Nesbitt currently second now, right to the back bumper of Wayne Bridges. And here goes Nesbitt. He is starting to look to the inside. Will he be able to make something happen here? He slides up. Chris Standridge had a run, had to back out of it just a little bit. It's going to be very tough to pass here on this fresh track, and it's going to get even tougher as they slick off. And there goes Ryan Nesbitt, just tapping Wayne Bridges, gets it back down to avoid wrecking. Chris Standridge now to the outside, reclaims second place. What a battle, folks. For 3 cars on track, this is one heck of a battle going on right here. As Nesbitt now pushing extremely hard. He was in the wall in 3 and 4. Standridge trying to close the gap here. Can't quite get there just yet. Checkered flag. It'll be Wayne Bridges at the line. Chris Standridge second, and Ryan Nesbitt comes home third. All right, looks like we're going to get a B main here tonight with Brian Mansfield, James Johnson, Justin Glover, Lance Sponberg, and David Tormasci. Pace car will drop off next time by. Not sure where the 25 of Justin Glover is. Pace truck will drop off. Brian Mansfield will lead him around. Looks like Justin Glover has lost his internet. Green flag is in the air. Jim Johnson out into the lead. Brian Mansfield second. Lance Sponberg third. And David Tormasci now in fourth. And Sponberg is in the wall. He is crashing hard coming out of turn 4. Hopefully he will get cleared before anybody gets around. Let's see what happened to him. It looks like Lance ran into the back of the 95. Managed to recover it. Started getting his momentum back. Rolled up onto the wall and then hit right there in that gap. That brought us under our first caution of the night. Looks like Lance Sponberg did go to pit road briefly. Probably to get repairs. He hit awfully hard. Jim Johnson currently there in the lead. Brian Mansfield is second. David Tormasci third. Lance Sponberg fourth as the green flag is about to drop. Green flag is in the air. Here they go again. Jim Johnson trying to get another good jump on Brian Mansfield. And the two leaders have definitely opened up a gap back to David Tormasci, who has moved up to third. They've got quite a bit of a lead after just one green flag lap, but here they go. They are still nose to tail. Lance Sponberg way back there as well. He is currently being scored one lap down due to the incident earlier. Jim Johnson still leading. Brian Mansfield. Caution is out again. David Tormasci this time. Looks like he was struggling a little bit off of turn 2. Gets down, catches the outside wall coming out of turn 4. Had to go straight to the pits. And Lance Sponberg barely managed to avoid that incident. That leaves just two cars currently on the track. Jim Johnson and Brian Mansfield. Lance Sponberg and David Tormasci both showing being on pit road. Looks like Lance Sponberg is coming back out off pit road. I think he missed his pit stall. Lights are out on the pace truck. I do believe he'll duck low here. Driving right through Sponberg there. And it's going to be a two-car battle. Green flag is in the air. Jim Johnson versus Brian Mansfield. Track really starting to slick off up there on the high side where these two have been running. Jim Johnson gets a good jump on Brian this time. Six laps to go here. Brian Mansfield still trying to close the gap to Jim Johnson. Not a lot of time left, and that gap is actually now growing as Jim Johnson continues to dominate in this heat. Nobody's been able to get close to him. Once he gets out front, gets away from everybody, he is gone. 4 to go. Lone Wolf The funny thing about that is the Enduro tonight will be a weed sport, but it's definitely something different, and I can promise you everybody's going to enjoy that one. 2 laps to go. Jim Johnson still in the lead. Brian Mansfield still in second. Lance Sponberg currently being scored in third. Looks like he is now back out on track. Yes, there is Lance as they come down to the white flag. Coming down the backstretch, final lap. Will Brian Mansfield look like he closed the gap just a little bit? Won't be enough though. It will be Jim Johnson at the line. Brian Mansfield scored second. Lance Sponberg scored third. David Tormasci fourth off track. And Justin Glover fifth off track. Hopefully he will get his internet resolved and be back with us in a moment. That was kind of crazy. All right, 2-minute warm up here. And you're right about this track being one of the worst dirt tracks. I absolutely struggle here. And that is part of the reason they called this week Hell Week. Because of this, because of weed sport for the Enduro, although that's going to be fun and hilarious. And because of some of the tracks they're doing later in the week in their other dirt series. They have one Hell Week a season, and it usually comes right after the Invitationals. So, yeah, that dude got yeeted across the track from the outside wall. And I imagine we're going to see a bit of that here tonight. With, it looks like 14 cars on track. Coluccio, I believe that's Coluccio. Yes, it is. Let's follow Chris Hyatt around. He is in the 95, almost went. Oh boy. This is definitely going to be an exciting race. Probably going to frustrate a few drivers. And that's part of the reason for the Enduro after tonight, or after every Monday night. It just helps them unwind, and if they have some aggression left over from one of these races, well, they can take it out on their opponents on the track. And looks like the warm-up is over. The track will be reset to a fresh state, and we will go green flag racing here. All right. Line up for the feature at Fairbury. Skylar Massey and Michael Whiting on the front row. Wayne Bridges and Chris Hyatt second. Jared Heasley, Chris Standridge third. Andrew Thornton, Patrick Coluccio seventh and eighth. And on the fifth row, Ryan Nesbitt and James Johnson. Then you got Brian Mansfield, Lance Sponberg, David Tormasci, and Justin Glover if he gets his internet working. Hopefully he'll be out here. And almost everybody is lined up for this feature event. Looks like we will have 13 cars, and looks like Glover is still not connected, so Skylar Massey and Michael Whiting on the front row. No surprise to see those two up front, and they definitely put on a heck of a show every time they get side by side. 1 lap to green. Here we go. Pace truck is in. They'll go around 3 and 4. Wait for Barney the flagman. Green flag is in the air. Michael Whiting gets a good jump on the outside. We've seen the outside line take off a lot better this race, or at this track so far tonight. Skylar Massey has already lost second place. He's about to lose third place to Patrick Coluccio. There's Patrick to the outside. Skyler and Patrick get together on the back straightaway. Looks like they get it straightened out, but Patrick Coluccio now losing several spots. Patrick started in 8th. He was up to 4th. Now he is back to 5th, but he is working his way back through the field very quickly. Right behind him, a couple slots back, is Ryan Nesbitt. That's another one that knows how to come through the field here. And when he comes back around, let's take a ride with Ryan Nesbitt. Coming out of turn 4, you can see the track is already starting to slick off. He has to get way up high. Heasley in the wall there to the outside. Drops down into 3 and 4, trying to run a lower line to get around the 32 car. There's crashing right in front of him, but he manages to hold on to it. Looks like Jared Heasley hit the outside wall again, and that sent him backwards. Meanwhile, up front, Michael Whiting continues to open up a lead, almost a 2-second lead at this point, over Chris Hyatt in 2nd place. Jim Johnson started in 10th, up to 3rd. Talk about a charge. There was nobody that could touch him in his heat, and I think he was holding back. He is on a mission here. Skyler Massey back to 4th after starting on the pole. Ryan Nesbitt started in 9th. He is up to 5th now. Chris Standridge in 6th. Patrick Coluccio has dropped back to 7th. Wayne Bridges is now 8th. Brian Mansfield up 2 spots to 9th. Jared Heasley has dropped 5 spots. He is back to 10th. Michael Whiting already looking at lapping somebody. I do believe that is David Tormasci. That tells you how fast Mr. Whiting is here tonight. He is on a mission. And he's got just 9 laps to get it done. I don't think at this point, unless there's a caution, which there could very well be, the way they are battling back here, everybody manages to keep it going, but they are leaning on each other awfully hard for being in a sprint car. Ryan Nesbitt in the wall. Ryan Nesbitt on the back bumper of Jim Johnson now. Ryan Nesbitt to the inside. They get together. They are in the outside wall. Looks like Nesbitt's collected. Could not tell who else. Let's see if we can take a look at that. Looks like Chris Hyatt, Ryan Nesbitt, and Jim Johnson all involved in this one. It looks like Ryan just got such a run coming off of turn 4, got a little too wide there, and got into the other 2 cars. Unusual to see Ryan Nesbitt struggling anywhere. There's your leader, Michael Whiting, and just as we were talking about, the only thing that could stop Michael Whiting here tonight would be a caution. Now they have that caution, and he's going to have some very fast folks right on his back bumper, including Chris Standridge, Skyler Massey, Chris Hyatt, and Brian Mansfield. Chris Standridge currently on a mission. He started back in 6th, up to 2nd. Chris Hyatt picked up a couple of spots due to that caution. He was running in about 3rd. All right, pace car is in. 44 is going to lead them down. Oh, they delayed the green. Looking at the notes to see. Green flag is in the air now, though. Michael Whiting leads him down. Chris Standridge to the inside, trying to make something happen here. As Whiting was struggling coming off turn 2, let's see if Chris can get it done in turn 4. They've got to be careful. Skyler Massey is right on the back bumpers. Michael Whiting manages to clear the 22 for the moment anyway, as Chris is trying to slide back up into 2nd. Skyler Massey now back to 3rd. Ryan Nesbitt currently in 4th. Brian Mansfield started in 11th. He is now up to 5th and on the move as well. Ryan Nesbitt, we saw him in that last caution. As we come down to 3 to go, he is closing on the leaders again, but Chris Standridge gets hit. He goes across the infield. Manages to keep it green. That'll put Ryan Nesbitt up to 2nd, but Michael Whiting is way out in front with 2 laps to go. We'll take a closer look at that once they finish this last lap, but it is currently Michael Whiting for the lead, in the lead. Here they come, checker flag. Michael Whiting wins it. Let's see what happened to Standridge here. Here he comes off of turn 4, dives off into turn number 1, and gets together and gets spun down into the pit road. He's probably going to need some enduro. I think a lot of these guys, there was a lot of beating and banging here, so I imagine that enduro is going to come in really handy as Michael Whiting begins his celebration. And I would expect to see a couple of drivers get out here and give him a hand, as there's the first of many. And why is Michael Whiting being allowed to go around the track unharmed? You guys are going to have to step up your game here. Attaboy, Michael, go the wrong way. Okay, here we go. Now they are on a mission. Here comes the 92. That is Wayne Bridges. He's trying to get it. Wayne, just turn right suddenly. There you go. That's better. That's how you celebrate Outlaw style. But he is still running. You guys cannot leave him out there running. There we go. That's better. And now he's popping wheelies down the front straightaway. That's unacceptable. Oh, he gets into Wayne Bridges upside down on pit road. Gets it straightened back up. Let's see if he gets back out on track. Nope, everybody's off track. Kind of disappointing. His engine was still running. We'll see if Michael Whiting, Ryan Nesbitt, and Skylar Massey join us here in a moment. And Jared Heasley saying he does not like this track at all. And he is not the only one. I imagine these guys are really glad for this one to be over, move on to next week, and something way better than this. And it looks like Skylar Massey will be joining us. Let's see if we can talk to Mr. Massey. Hey, Skylar. Skylar, this is Doug. You got me?
Yeah, what's up, Doug?
Hey, man, congratulations. That was a hard-fought third.
Yeah, the Fairbury, fun, not at all.
You know, Jared Easley dropped in the comments saying this track sucked, and it's been a general consensus from everybody in the chat that this is an awful, awful track.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a reason that we call this week Hell Week, and it proves itself every time we run this track.
This is true. It is a very difficult track, but you managed to come through a lot of messes to come home third tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just like last week, I feel super bad because me and Chris got tangled up again, and by the time I realized he got loose in front of me, I hit my brakes, but we were already together, and unfortunately, it didn't throw a caution for him, but sucks, but I'm happy with third.
Well, congratulations, man. At least let Chris get you once in the Enduro.
Oh, I guarantee that's going to happen.
All right, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug. Have a good one, buddy.
You too, man. Michael Whiting, congratulations. That was a heck of a win.
Thank you, Doug. That was fun. Obviously, being out front right from the get-go, that helps tremendously here at this racetrack.
I think you might be the only person that called tonight's race fun.
I know, right? Well, when you're out front like that and you see them bashing and banging and just racing hard behind you, yeah, it's all good.
Now, right before that last caution came out, you were actually about to start lapping cars. You had a huge lead on the field. How many cars do you think you could have lapped?
Oh, I don't know. It's so tough to pass on this racetrack. I was just going to go real easy. As long as I was, a second and a half, 2 seconds up, I wasn't going to push the issues. So there's no sense really to go hard there.
10-4. Well, congratulations. That was a hard-fought and well-deserved win.
Thank you, Doug.
All
Thank
right.
you for everything you do for us.
My
Appreciate it.
pleasure. All right, that was first place Michael Whiting, third place Skylar Massey. After a very difficult race here. And yeah, it was a difficult night for everybody, but now they get to go into the Enduro and they get to blow off a little steam. The Enduro session will open here in about 10-15 minutes, and we will actually watch the entire practice and we'll laugh because it will be hilarious. They will be aiming for each other, and there is nothing better than just a wreck fest and seeing who can get to the designated lap first. There's been a couple of these battles recently where it ended up being something like 2 cars on the lead lap because so many got wrecked out. So we'll see what happens here tonight. They will be at Weed Sport in the street stocks trying to destroy each other. So definitely going to be an entertaining battle. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Well, actually, go to the snack bar. Do what you got to do. Go ahead and hit that share button while you're at it, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with these guys wrecking each other and getting payback for everything that's happened tonight. Don't go anywhere. I mean it. Don't.